Before we get into this video, we have a new project we want to tell you about. It's been years in the making, conceived while we were through hiking the Appalachian Trail.
If you're watching this video, you probably enjoy real-life adventure stories, reading them, following them, maybe even writing your own.
The project is called Outsideways. Outsideways is an adventure journaling platform for outdoor enthusiasts to share their adventures with family, friends, and the world. So whether you are into hiking or backpacking, canoeing,
Skiing, snowboarding,
cycling, pack rafting, whether you are out for the afternoon, the day, or the weekend,
or maybe you're out for a week or months-long adventure,
Outsideways is the place to share the stories
and share your pictures
of your adventures.
This little stop motion to show you how our videos get produced.
When we're hiking on the trail, we'll take video of the experiences, people, and places we see. Then, we take the memory card, and when we come to a town stop, which happens every 4 or 5 days, we will send it to the video editors.
Hi! We're the Johnson family.
And we are the
Editors!
Alan.
Charity.
Kaylin,
Jeremy, Callie, Kimmy.
We take the two guys' raw footage and
Watch it.
sync audio,
Overlay video.
add transition slides.
Add music.
add the titles, credits, and finishing touches.
Then, once they are finished editing it, they upload it to ToeSolid, and that is how you are watching it today.
Whoopee!
How did today go? Well, it's like leading up to this point, we've had a lot of first days of doing anything, and this was like the first day we went to a grocery store to supply 5 days worth of food. So that was another first for us, except we have no idea if we're going to really like what we picked for ourselves because, well, we'll get that as we go.
or if the quantity is...
we have a good idea that the quantity is correct. Whether or not, the quantity of the things we're going to want to eat is correct will remain to be seen, but, thankfully we'll have lots of practice as we go.
And I found the shopping very stressful. I don't like shopping to begin with, and this scenario was just like... And we have a lot to do, so we were thinking... Moving forward, we maybe should do more divide and conquer.
So we've decided that probably it's a good idea if Renee doesn't shop and she does other things instead, and I shop, and then she
do the email and email people and do our online shopping, coordinating where that's coming to, and
She's good at coordination. So.
And I'd rather just hang out with people. Can I just be
But we have to eat.
Can I sign up for the hang out with people and talk to them job?
How about as far as what you selected today? Were you happy with the food items that you've chosen for the trip?
I think that we probably had the most selection here.
I generally think we won't be finding many Whole Foods along the trail.
Yeah, I think like we have the best. We had the most options here than we will have anywhere.
And we'll probably
Just
kick
north of
ourselves for the things we didn't get.
Exactly. We're like, wow, well, we were just in that Whole Foods and we could have got this and this, but how are you supposed to know?
All right, let's talk about some of the food items you bought today. Okay, what were you looking for? What kinds of items?
Dried.
Well, we just yeah.
Well, you did this before we went shopping. You went.
We were like looking for a variety of things, that breakfast items, all kinds of different snacks for eating throughout the day, and then just some items for supper, mostly like rice, potatoes, pasta things, and some things to flavor our meals, so seasoning packets and gravy mixes and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So,
and before we left to go shopping, you did this whole calculation thing.
yeah, I was trying to figure out roughly how many pounds per person per day we wanted to start out with as a ballpark, just to kind of get an idea of quantities of food. So
we're starting out with approximately
1.5 pounds.
1.5 pounds per person.
That might be a little more than we need, but the kids eat a lot, so I'm not sure exactly what the...
So what about, now with all the groceries that you bought, what are the packs going to weigh in at? For the kids, for example. How much weight are they carrying in their backpacks?
Really depends on the food. Could be anywhere from, 18 to 20 pounds for their packs. That's ballpark. I'd like to keep it in that range, but
I like to. I wish it was a little bit lower.
Yeah.
But.
Well, I mean, we're starting in the spring, and we've got probably a little more warm, or I should say cold weather gear than I don't know if it's overkill at this point or not, but as we move on, we'll be shedding some of that cold weather gear and lightening our packs a bit as well. So the pack weights will drop a bit from getting rid of the gear, but at the same time, as we go on further, our caloric needs are going to increase, and so pack weight will increase because of food requirements. So
how about some of the treats for the trail? What have you done to kind of make it more enjoyable? Obviously, the health side of it is you need to have your calories, you need to have your nutrition. Was there anything that you were looking for today that would be more along the lines of, boy, this would just be nice to have?
Well, chocolate.
I'm trying to think what else. You don't have to have tea in the morning. You don't have to have hot chocolate or hot cocoa to start the day. Technically, you don't have to have coffee either, but I think you do actually have to. So scratch that. You have to have coffee.
We just like to have, I think variety is important.
Right.
We're trying to balance variety with nutrition and trying to be as healthy as we can in the context of a grocery store and buying things that are dried. And that's like when we eat at home, we eat a lot of fresh fruit and vegetables. We can't do that when we're on the trail. So there's certain compromises in that regard. So we're trying to be, as healthy as we can while also, increasing our caloric needs as best we can through, healthy fats and carbohydrates and proteins.
Protein, I think we need.
We need to fine tune that one a little bit more.
Yeah.
And there's really no reason to suffer. You might as well enjoy yourself on the hike.
Yeah, as long as we can carry the weight required. Yeah.
Well, I noticed today when you were doing your shopping, you were looking for different types of items and in different types of packaging. And I know that weight was a consideration today. You were looking for items that were light in their packing material, such as no glass, and even plastic-wise, you made an effort to change out some of the containers. Tell me a little bit about what you're going to do with with the peanut butter. What was it you bought?
Well, we bought a nut butter, but it was in a glass container, and so we had to find a plastic container to put it in. That one was pretty.
That was pretty.
That wasn't
easy.
too bad, thanks to your suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Another set of eyes looking for containers that would work.
You know,
Between
we
that and
really
toilet
like
paper. I think I
Save the day.
I scored a few points today.
We really like packaging that has resealable packaging, because then we don't have to put it in a Ziploc bag. So if there's, some dried food item that comes in a...
Yeah, like the dried vegetables I ordered.
Yeah,
ahead of
exactly.
time.
Those all come in their own
Yeah.
resealable Ziploc bags, so we don't have to transfer them over. That's pretty handy.
Now, what about water? I noticed you didn't get any water today. What's your plan on that?
Oh, we'll get that as we go. Find a stream and filter or treat our water with UV.
Now, one of the other things we did today was trying to get the clothing issue resolved. You had a shortage of socks. How did this occur, and what's the situation?
Well, we have a problem with socks in our house. They disappear consistently, and lo and behold, we left in theory, we had all the socks sorted out, but by the time we made it here, we've discovered that there was still one pair of socks missing somewhere in action, MIA. So we had to try to find something
After
for that.
lists and checking lists and ordering, and a pair of socks not around. So we had to go all through that big sporting goods store.
Yeah, didn't really find what we wanted, but that's okay. We'll survive.
They're just socks.
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
be fine.
So if that's the only thing that was missing, we're doing pretty good.
But I think, we'll find. And then the belt for Brienne. That we'll pick up along the trail. Maybe literally.
Somebody may have shedded that, and I'm not carrying this anymore.
Yeah.
You never know on the Appalachian Trail. Okay, so let's talk about hazards.
So hazards with regards to just minor injuries and scrapes, and somebody gets some kind of diarrhea or whatever. Those
you
are
helped me chop up a pumice stone. That's
to help foot care. I mean, so there's hazards. I don't know if the hazards is the right word. Just general like health and wellness and taking. We've spent a lot of time with putting together our first aid kit. Hazards or things that need our attention would be also insects and protecting ourselves from things, specifically ticks and because they carry Lyme disease. So Damien sprayed some of our gear tonight with permethrin. So that's one of our first line of defense against that.
Is there any talk about wildlife that you need to be concerned with on the trail?
Hang your food to prevent bears and rodents from consuming it before you do.
Those runs are fast. Do you have ropes or anything for that? Or are you bringing in
I have
extra?
a line for bear hanging.
Okay.
Yeah.
They'll teach that bear.
They're getting pretty smart. They'll
I've
teach us
seen
a thing or
videos
two.
where they're like
Hanging on the line.
hanging
yeah.
on the lines, in the Smokies or something like this. Yeah.
Those are the same bears that sing, I understand, too. So, any words or any thoughts that you might have as you start off on your journey that you want to pass along, and any questions you want to ask yourselves, or anything that you might think at the end of this 6-month period you will be able to answer?
Well, the question I've been asking repeatedly through the months of preparation is this worth it? Is this worth it? And also, not a question, but flipped it a little bit, is like, I hope this is worth it. I feel like I hope I can answer that at the end with yes. I mean, that's why we're doing it, because we believe it will be.
Well, and we've just been reflecting tonight, like the journey of just coming from our home in Canada to here. We've stayed with,
4 different families already.
four different families in 4 days, and the kids have had a lot of fun, and we've enjoyed the company and visiting with people, and if that's any indication, which I think it is, the trail is going to be a lot of, meeting new people, seeing new things, and sometimes it might be a whirlwind in the same way it is here. Like, I'm reading the book, the Barefoot Sisters book right now, and that was one of the things that I thought was interesting. They'd meet really cool, interesting people along the way, and it would just be like, just a really short period of time, and then you might not ever see them again. And, I hope we'll see people again, but at the same time, there'll be a lot of meetings, and then that's it,
Yeah, intense periods of
Yeah.
meeting and gathering, and then back in the woods. And
Yeah. So,
I'm sure you'll meet a fair number of characters as well, and we all look forward to hearing those stories
Yes.
as well.
yeah.
I think it starts with, you can't make this up.